In the hush of a rain-soaked park, a forgotten woman sits alone on a weathered bench, clutching her old duffel like the last fragments of her soul. 5 years ago, war stole her team, her memory, and her best friend. Rex, the German shepherd who shielded her from death. They said he didn't survive, but today she finds his cracked collar etched with his name. Her breath catches. It still feels warm against her heart. What if loyalty never dies? What if he's been waiting all this time? Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A light autumn rain falls over the empty park, turning the wooden bench dark and slick. The air carries the scent of wet leaves and distant wood smoke. Afternoon light filters gray through bare branches. Amanda Johnson sits alone, 35 years old now, though the years have carved deeper lines than time alone could manage. She is a woman of medium height, thin from long months without steady meals, her fair skin marked by faint scars, one across the back of her hand, another near the temple, where hair refuses to grow quite right. Her long brown hair, once kept neat in a military bun, hangs loose and tangled, tied back with a frayed cord. She wears an old olive-drab field jacket, faded and patched, over a worn sweater and jeans that have seen too many winters. Military boots, laces broken and retied, rest heavy on the damp ground. A duffel bag, canvas worn to threads, leans against her leg, like an old companion she cannot quite trust anymore. She has been here for hours, maybe days. Time blurs when the days have no shape. The park is quiet except for the soft patter of rain on leaves and the occasional distant laughter of children leaving the playground early. Amanda does not look up. Her hands rest on the duffel, fingers tracing seams she knows by heart. Inside are fragments, a folded flag patch, dog tags that no longer belong to anyone living, a few photographs creased and soft at the edges. She opens the bag slowly, as though afraid what she might find. Her fingers brush something small and hard. She pulls it out, a leather collar, cracked and weathered, the brass nameplate dulled by time. Etched there, faint but still legible. Rex. Below it, a military serial number, half erased by years of sweat and dust. Amanda holds it in her palm, raindrops pooling in the worn grooves. The metal is cold against her skin. The memory comes unbidden, quiet as breath. A night in the desert 5 years ago, rain hammering the tent, thunder rolling like artillery. She and Rex had been out on patrol when the blast hit, sudden, blinding. She remembers the weight of him throwing himself across her, fur against her cheek, body shielding hers as shrapnel tore the air. His growl turned to a sharp yelp, then silence. When she woke in the field hospital, they told her the dog had not made it, that the unit was gone, that she was the only survivor, and even then, barely. She believed them because the pain demanded it. Now, staring at the collar, something shifts inside her chest, a small crack in the wall she built to keep the world out. Rex had saved her more than once, not just that night. In the long patrols, in the dark hours when doubt crept in, he had been there, steady, warm, never judging. He never cared that she was the first woman to handle a K-9 in that unit, that the men sometimes looked at her with suspicion or pity. Rex simply stayed. And when she needed to feel human, he let her bury her face in his neck and breathe. She closes her fingers around the collar. The rain picks up, drumming softly on the bench. No one passes by. No one stops to ask if she is all right. She is invisible here, as she has been for years. Yet the collar feels like proof that something real once existed between her and the world. That Rex had known her name, her voice, her fear, that he had chosen her. Amanda lifts her eyes to the gray sky. A single drop traces down her cheek, mingling with the rain. She does not wipe it away. Instead, she slips the collar into her jacket pocket, close to her heart. Somewhere, she thinks, perhaps he is still out there, still waiting, still remembering. The park grows quieter. The rain slows to a whisper. She exhales, long and slow. The afternoon sun slants low through thinning clouds, casting long shadows across the playground. The rain has stopped, leaving the air cool and clean. Gravel crunches under boots somewhere far off. Two officers approach the bench where Amanda still sits. The first is a young patrolman, early 30s, clean-shaven, uniform crisp. His voice carries the practiced calm of someone used to routine calls. The second, older, perhaps late 40s, walks with a slight limp, old injury, maybe from the job. His face is weathered, short graying hair under the cap, eyes steady but tired. He has seen too many afternoons like this. They stop a few paces away. The younger one speaks first. "Ma'am, we've had a call. Mind standing up for us?" Amanda lifts her head slowly. Her eyes meet theirs, distant, guarded, the green-gray softened by years of looking inward. She does not rise quickly. Her hands press against the bench for support. When she finally stands, her knees tremble. The old wound in her side pulls tight, a dull fire that never quite fades. She steadies herself, one hand on the duffel. The older officer watches her closely. He notices the way she holds herself, straight-backed despite the pain, the posture of someone who once stood at attention under harsher skies. He sees the faded military jacket, the boots. Something registers in his gaze, a flicker of recognition that he does not voice. "What's in the bag, ma'am?" the younger one asks. Amanda exhales. Her voice is low, rough from disuse. "Just things, old things." She unzips the duffel halfway, a folded blanket, a water bottle, the photographs. Then her fingers brush the collar again. She does not pull it out. Instead, she murmurs, almost to herself. "I was the first woman they let handle a canine in my unit. They didn't think I could, said I'd get someone killed. But Rex never doubted me, not once." The words hang in the air. The older officer shifts his weight. His jaw tightens, not in suspicion, but in something closer to memory. He has heard stories like this before. Women who carried more than their share, who proved themselves in silence. He says nothing, but his eyes soften a fraction. The younger one radios dispatch. "Possible non-compliant, requesting canine unit for backup." Amanda's breath catches. She looks past them toward the empty swings, the chains still swaying faintly. The playground is quiet now. Parents have taken their children home. Only the wind moves the leaves. Minutes pass. Then the low rumble of an SUV. Doors open. A handler steps out, tall, broad-shouldered, black tactical vest marked K9 unit. His face is calm, professional. He unclips the leash, and Rex emerges. 8 or 9 years old now, still powerful. Black and tan coat glossy under the late sun, ears erect, muscles coiled beneath the tactical vest. He moves with the quiet authority of a dog who has worked long shifts, who knows commands by heart. His eyes scan the scene, alert, focused. Then his nostrils flare. He lifts his head. The scent reaches him, faint, buried in canvas, carried on the damp air. Something from long ago, sweat, desert dust, the particular warmth of one person's hand on fur. Rex's tail twitches once, almost imperceptibly. He does not bark. He simply stands still, gaze fixed on the woman by the bench. Amanda feels the shift before she sees it. Her heart stutters. She cannot look away from the dog. The collar in her pocket seems to grow heavier, warmer against her chest. The handler tugs lightly on the leash. "Easy, boy." But Rex does not move forward, not yet. He simply watches her. And in that long, quiet moment, the world narrows to the space between them, the distance of 5 lost years, the weight of memory, the fragile thread of something that refuses to break. Amanda's hand rises, slow, trembling, as though reaching through water. The older officer notices. He does not speak. He only waits. The light fades a little more. Shadows lengthen across the grass. The light has softened to the color of old parchment. Shadows stretch long across the grass. A faint breeze carries the scent of damp earth and distant pine. The playground stands empty now, swings motionless. The handler tightens his grip on the leash. He is a man in his late 30s, square-jawed, eyes hidden behind the brim of his cap. His voice cuts through the quiet, firm, but not cruel. "Last warning, ma'am. Show us what's in the bag, or we do this the hard way." Amanda stands frozen. Her breath comes shallow. Fear coils in her chest, not of pain, but of what might happen next. She knows the command that is coming. She has given it herself years ago in dust-choked streets under a merciless sun. Her legs feel heavy, rooted. She cannot move, not because she wants to defy them, because every part of her remembers what follows the word attack. The handler looks at Rex, one sharp nod. "Rex, go get her." The German shepherd surges forward, muscles ripple beneath the black and tan coat. Paws strike the ground in powerful, measured strides. The tactical vest shifts with each bound. His eyes lock ahead, focused, trained, obedient. The handler's command still rings in his ears. Amanda does not flinch. She only watches him come. Her right hand hangs loose at her side, palm open. The old scar on the back of it gleams pale in the fading light, a jagged line from shrapnel, from the night Rex threw himself between her and the blast. Rex closes the distance in seconds. Then he stops. Abrupt, complete. Paws skid on wet grass, kicking up small clods of earth. He stands 3 feet from her, chest heaving, ears forward. A low whine rises in his throat, not aggression, not confusion exactly. Something deeper. Recognition. He lowers his head. Nostrils flare once, twice. Then slowly, deliberately, he steps closer. His warm nose brushes the scar on her hand. A soft, tentative lick follows. Once, gentle, as though testing memory against reality. The tongue is rough, familiar. Amanda's breath catches. Tears prick at the corners of her eyes, unbidden. In the silence that follows, another memory surfaces, soft as fog. A bunker at dusk, rain drumming on metal overhead. She had been bleeding then too, arm torn open by debris. Rex had lain beside her, head resting on her thigh, licking the wound in steady, patient strokes. Not to heal it, to stay with her, to remind her she was not alone in the dark. Now he does it again. The same slow rhythm, the same quiet devotion. Amanda's voice breaks the stillness, barely a whisper. "Rex." The name falls like a stone into still water. Ripples spread through the dog's body. His ears twitch. The whine deepens into something softer, almost a sigh. His tail, once stiff with purpose, lowers, then gives one slow, uncertain wag. Another. The movement is small, but it carries years. The handler stares. His hand slackens on the leash. The older patrolman beside him exhales slowly, as though releasing something he had been holding for a long time. The younger officer shifts, uncertain. Amanda kneels. Slowly, painfully. Her knees touch the damp grass. She reaches out with both hands. Rex does not hesitate. He steps into her arms, pressing his broad head against her chest. His warmth seeps through the worn jacket. His heartbeat is steady against hers. She buries her face in the fur at his neck. The scent is the same. Earth, leather, something uniquely his. For the first time in 5 years, the world feels solid again. Rex lets out a long, low huff. The sound he used to make when the patrol was over, when they were safe, when it was just the two of them. Amanda closes her eyes. She does not speak again. There is no need. The light dims further. A single bird calls from the tree line. In that quiet space between them, something mends. Not completely, not yet, but enough to believe it might. Twilight settles gently over the park. The sky turns the soft gray of worn flannel. Street lights flicker on one by one, casting pale pools across the grass. The air holds the lingering chill of evening. Rex presses closer. His broad head rests against Amanda's chest, the tactical vest pressing lightly through her jacket. A low, rumbling whimper rises from deep in his throat, soft, broken, like a puppy separated too long from its mother. He buries his nose against the old scar on her forearm, inhaling slowly, then exhaling in a long, shuddering breath. The warmth of him seeps into her skin. His tail sweeps once across the ground, stirring damp leaves. Amanda's arms wrap around him. She rocks faintly, the motion instinctive, as though soothing a child. Tears slide down her cheeks and fall into his fur. She does not wipe them away. For the first time in 5 years, the ache inside her chest has a shape, a name. It is not just loss. It is the space where Rex used to be. The memory rises unbidden, clear as the night it happened. The explosion had come without warning. White light, deafening roar, the ground lifting beneath them. She remembers Rex's body slamming into hers, pushing her down, shielding her. Shrapnel tore through his flank. She felt the wet heat of his blood on her hands as she tried to hold him. Then darkness. When she woke in the field hospital, bandaged and disoriented, they told her the dog had been evacuated separately. Later, they told her he had not survived the wounds. She believed it because the grief demanded certainty. For 5 years she carried that certainty like a stone in her ribs. Guilt that she had lived while he had not, that she had failed to protect the one who always protected her. Now, he is here, breathing, warm, alive. A small crowd has gathered at the edge of the grass. Parents who had lingered, a jogger who stopped, the 2 patrolmen standing silent. Someone must have called others. Phones glow in cupped hands. No one speaks loudly. The only sounds are the soft rustle of wind and Rex's quiet, intermittent whimpers. A boy, no more than 7, stands near his mother's leg. He watches with wide eyes. After a long moment, he whispers, loud enough to carry in the hush. The dog's crying 'cause he remembers her. The words land softly. A woman nearby covers her mouth. Another wipes her eyes with the back of her sleeve. The older patrolman looks away for a moment, blinking hard. Even the handler stands motionless, leash loose in his hand, face unreadable, but eyes glistening. Amanda lifts her head just enough to see them. Strangers, yet not. Their faces reflect something she has not felt in years. Recognition. Not of her name or rank, of something older, truer. The simple truth that love does not always die when we think it does. The younger officer steps forward quietly. He speaks into his radio, voice low. Dispatch, run background on the woman and the canine. Franklin Ward. No, wait, Amanda Johnson. And the dog? Rex. Minutes pass. The radio crackles once, twice. Confirmation comes in fragments. Survived the blast, traumatic brain injury, listed as missing, presumed deceased. No records updated. Rex recovered separately, reassigned, retrained. No one had connected the names until now. The handler exhales. He unclips the leash fully and lets it fall to the grass. The older officer kneels beside them. His voice is rough, gentle. He's home, ma'am. Amanda does not answer right away. She only holds Rex tighter. His heartbeat thuds steady against her own. In that rhythm, she hears the promise she had almost forgotten, that some bonds outlast even the worst darkness. She presses her lips to the top of his head. The crowd remains quiet. No applause, no rush forward, just shared silence and the slow turning of the earth beneath them. A single tear traces down the older officer's cheek. He does not hide it. The lights along the path glow warmer now. Night has come softly, and for the first time in a long while, Amanda believes tomorrow might hold something kind. Morning light filters through tall pines, soft and golden. The air smells of fresh coffee and cut grass. A quiet community nestles at the edge of town. Simple homes, wide porches, flags waving gently in the breeze. Weeks have passed since that evening in the park. The videos spread quickly, quiet clips of a woman and her dog finding each other again after years apart. People watched, shared, wept in their kitchens and living rooms. Headlines spoke of loyalty that outlasted war and time. But the real change happened more slowly, in rooms with closed doors and careful voices. A commander arrived one afternoon, mid-50s, broad-shouldered, hair silver at the temples. His uniform was crisp, but his eyes carried the weariness of a man who has signed too many papers and buried too many friends. He knelt on the grass beside Amanda and Rex, voice low and steady. "Ma'am, Rex has served well, but he's made his choice clear. We're retiring him. He goes home with you. No speeches, no ceremony, just the quiet click of a collar tag being changed, the old police badge replaced with one bearing only his name." The commander stood, nodded once to the handler, who stood back now, hands in pockets, and walked away without another word. Some rules, he seemed to say, were meant to bend when hearts were on the line. They moved into a small house in the veterans' community soon after. White clapboard, green shutters, a fenced yard where Rex could stretch in the sun. Inside, the room smelled of pine cleaner and warm bread from neighbors' welcome baskets. Amanda's hands no longer shook when she poured coffee. Rex followed her from room to room, never far, as though afraid the years might steal her again. He became more than companion. In the evenings, when memories crowded too close, Rex would rest his head on her knee, eyes steady, breathing slow. Some nights she spoke aloud about the desert, the blast, the long silence after. He listened without judgment. Other veterans gathered on the porch sometimes, drawn by stories they had heard. Rex would lead her to the circle of chairs, nudging her gently forward. She began to share. Words came halting at first, then easier. Rex lay at her feet, guardian still, his presence giving her courage she thought was gone forever. One quiet evening, months later, they sit on the porch steps. The sun dips low, painting the sky rose and amber. Rex stretches out beside her, head on her thigh, one paw draped protectively across her leg, the old habit from bunker nights when danger felt close. His muzzle is grayer now, but his eyes remain clear, watchful, content. Amanda runs her fingers through his fur, slow and deliberate. She thinks of the collar she still keeps in a drawer, of the scar on her hand that no longer aches when rain comes, of the emptiness that has filled, not all at once, but steadily, like morning light moving across a room. She smiles, small, real, the kind that reaches the eyes. Rex huffs softly, the familiar sound of a soldier finally off duty. He closes his eyes, trusting the quiet. The breeze stirs the pines. Somewhere down the road, a screen door creaks. Life goes on, gentle and ordinary. Two hearts, once lost, have found their way home, not through orders or missions, through love that simply refused to forget. As the years slow our steps and the world grows quieter, many of us know the ache of loneliness, the weight of illness, the empty chair at the table. But stories like Amanda and Rex remind us, love never truly leaves. Hold on to hope, reach out to someone today, share a memory, or simply say, "I'm here." If this touched your heart, please share it, leave a comment, and subscribe for more stories of healing and grace. May the Lord bless and keep you, heal your body, and fill your days with gentle companionship. You are never alone.